I feel like just every time I make an undignified noise and then I explain what that undignified noise was and say ASMR after it, like the first time I made that joke, it was already done. It was already too far. It was already too many instances of that joke. Hold on. Hold on just a minute. I gotta frickin' do the frickin', you know what I mean? The frickin' thing. Frickin'. I'm an adult. I swear on my life I'm an adult. Alright, let me see. How do I do this? How do I find... Oh, here it is. There I am. Look at me. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Oh my god, shut up. I hate when I, like, turn on the video on my phone because I have no idea how to do anything regarding technology whatsoever. So I open the stream on my phone and then I share it from my phone on Twitter. That's what I'm doing at the moment. So you're welcome. You're welcome for this delightful behind the scenes little peek. Okay. I think I'm doing... It's been way too... I haven't streamed in weeks. Aw, Poe followed me. Hi, Poe. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's your host, Michelle, aka Chat-Mort. And thank you so much for returning once again to my humble little channel. Irate Prostate said that I sound like Glinda with my little, like, sort of lilting greeting, which is so sweet, and I always think about that now, and it makes me happy. Do you like my backdrop that I thought was big enough and is not? Good thing I have a backup that's smaller than this one. Nice. So, I have to figure out how to, like, mount it lower so you can't see all the junk in my basement behind me. Hi, Rakist. Welcome. I see you hanging around a lot, but I don't know if I've gotten back to you when you've, like, commented to me lately. Hi, Killing Joke. Hello, friends. Remember to switch to live chat, my dear comrades, if you do decide to show up and hang out, since it's not freaking kindergarten here, and we're capable of dealing with one another's spooky words. It's a nice backdrop. Thank you. I have not done this in so long that I'm really nervous. I'm really distracted by all my favorite character shitty gifs, as I always am, but like worse than normal because it's been so long since I've done this. So I don't know what to talk about exactly. I can stream for a little while here. I'm the only one home this evening. Tech support husbando is working late, so I'm hecking around. I'm trying to find something to do with my time. Groovy. Yep. I still feel loved. No worries. Good, because you are very loved. Biggest news. So, as the title implies, yay, Trevor! I'm so distracted. I'm such a moron. Oh my god. How have I lived this long? Nobody can answer that for me. Scientists have yet to determine the answer to that question. So, right. No, everyone stare at Chat-Mort to build the nervous tension. I don't appreciate that. That's what streams are for people staring at you. I don't know. I'm such an imbecile. Like, all human beings are just a different, unique little, like, clump of contradictions. But I feel like I am some of the more particularly glaring and absurd ones, perhaps. Hello, Jarl. Welcome to one of my silly evening streams that I haven't done in, like, ever. In months. What do you think about the little boy dying without the Spider-Man thing? What? The what? Can you link me to it? Is it a news story? I'm inferring as much, but I'm not sure. I don't know what that means. I don't know what happened. The little boy dying without the glaring and absurd is why we love you and why we watch. That's a good way to put it, so thank you. Thanks, man. Belch. Did I belch? Oh my god. If I did, I didn't even register that it happened. Anyway, as you can see from my title is not where I'm gesturing even remotely. I just made that the title because I don't know what to talk about. But peculiarly enough, yeah, a lot of my videos take me a long time to edit and upload. Some of them take me a couple weeks. Some of them take me like a day. It just depends on my enthusiasm and how much I keep my momentum from day to day. Like if I stop, it's just like writing. Like if I'm not editing or filming or scripting videos for a couple days, I like almost have to relearn how to do it in a way. I don't like how any of this looks here in OBS. Let me rectify this. Let me put this heart somewhere else. See, I set this all up for the goofy, like, Glob Glow Gab Galab Snoop Dogg background, and now I switched back for a little bit, so everything's all wacky. I don't know, man. How? I don't like that it snaps. That's fine. It's fine, Michelle. It's fine. Yeah. What happened? My brain doesn't work. Oh my god, my brain just doesn't work. Dear Lord. I was working on this video for like a week and a half, if not a little bit longer, actually. I'm not sure what day I filmed it, but it was about... maybe I did belch without thinking about it, because I almost did that without thinking about it. It was about why I no longer care for the Game Grumps channel. Some of you might not even have heard of the Game Grumps, but a lot of people have, even if you're not interested in Let's Plays or that kind of like internet comedy, because they have 5 million subs, and they're one of the bigger like groups of people who do video gaming type content in the format, I suppose, in which they do it. Or yeah, I guess format is the right word for it. I used to be an avid fan of the Grumps, and like in Anime Club, I insisted we watch it a lot, and a lot of my friends got into Game Grumps, which is awesome, and I'm glad they did. But over the years, a series of things happened that just made me progressively less enthused, and it sounds entitled if I articulate it this way, but I'm not sure how else to say it. I just, as a viewer, you know, as a consumer of their product, who in return gives them views, who sits through their ads, things like that, and who bought the video game they put out, I began to feel more and more looked down upon and condescended to and sort of like trampled on, if you will, as a viewer, as one of the, you know, litany's not a good word for that, the mass of supporters that they have. And I just, you know, after a while, after discovering Oni Plays specifically through the Game Grumps and beginning to gravitate toward that channel because it appealed to my sense of humor so much more, after a while I just didn't watch them much, and then a couple things they did just were so unbelievably unprofessional and off-putting to me that I actually went out of my way to put the effort into unsubscribe from all the Game Grumps stuff and unfollow their social media. So I made a video about that, and I was very reluctant to do so because not all Game Grumps fans are like this, obviously, but a lot of them are very, very elitist and militant, to the point where one of the things that was so off-putting to me that I didn't include in the video because it's not about them specifically was that if you even politely, respectfully, articulately voice disagreement with how they handle something with a remark made in one of their videos, a bunch of the fans dogpile you and just bury you in snarky insults. And I was very scared to make that video for that reason. I thought, you know, with all of my videos I make, I'm a very small channel, and it is growing steadily, which I'm immensely grateful for, and I'm hugely grateful for each and every one of you. And when my channel does become a little more successful someday, I'm going to be nostalgic for these days. And one of the things I want to do is I need to start my Discord soon. I know nothing about Discord, so I need to talk to like Vorst or a couple people who volunteered to help me with it. Are those oats? Where are those from? Strange. But one of the things I want to do on my Discord is, because eventually there will be so many people around, not to sound egotistical, I'm not saying I'm going to get like this massive channel, but you know, I think it'll grow steadily. I want there to be a specific like closed group in my Discord for the OGs, if you will. The people who were around before I hit like 1,000 subs, or approximately around that amount. And I don't want to exclude anyone, obviously, who comes after that. Not to say that they aren't going to be just as helpful in their contributions intellectually, in their agreements or disagreements, or in their support, or as patrons or anything. And I'm sure I'll put an extra little group in for patrons specifically, but I want there to be a group specifically for, this little sort of tight-knit group of people that has accumulated, all of you who have begun to support me throughout the years that I've had this channel, so we can all stay in contact if it starts to be this thing where the people that I recognize and talk to a lot start getting lost in the sea of like hundreds of comments on videos or hundreds of viewers in a chat or something. So I am going to do that eventually. But with all of my videos, I'm terrified of attention. I have terrible social anxiety, but I also have always been ambitious. Since I was little, I've been ambitious. And I want to have a bigger channel. I want to have a presence. I want to be able to make an impact. I want to be able to have a positive impact on people with what I do. And I know I already am. So in a sense, I'm already doing everything that I set out to do. But obviously, I want to have a bigger channel, doesn't everybody? And every video I make, I hope as I'm scripting it, as I'm filming it and screwing up my lines and yelling at the cats, because for some reason they bring over like rattly, squeaky, jingly toys almost exclusively when I'm filming. I don't know why they do that or how they know to do it. But, throughout the whole process, I'm thinking, I really hope this is the video. I hope this is the one. I think this is decent quality commentary. I think it's relevant. I think it's timely if I get them out soon enough. I think this is good. I think this is good enough that if people saw it, they would like it. And I always think this will be the video, or I hope this is the video that gets a little more traction, that helps my channel grow in a bigger burst than the steady growth I've had. But then at the same time, because I'm so opinionated and I can't keep my mouth shut, and I always have to put in like little snarky, childish digs at people, even when I'm trying to be as respectful as possible, I'm also like, I really hope this isn't the video that gets big, because people are going to hate me, if it does. And I talked to somebody else on Twitter who said that all of his videos to do with the Game Grumps have way more views than anything else. And he said that because their fans are just like rabid with their clicks, I think is how he worded it. And surprisingly, yes, this has, it's math. This video is like 10 times bigger. Yeah. 10 times. I'm not good at math at all. It's like 10 times bigger than most of my videos ever get as far as viewership in 24 hours, which is scary for me in a way, even though it's also exciting. Because I mentioned them in the title and I tagged them in the video tags, and I cross-posted it and shared it, on Twitter when I posted the video. So obviously it's going to come up if people search it and look for the most recent tweets about Game Grumps as a phrase. I'm really, really surprised at how positive the response has been so far. I've gotten 2 dislikes, and obviously the sad thing is most of the time the people who leave dislikes don't care enough to articulate why. If they did, it would give you closure in a way. Because you would be able to say, I clearly didn't say that, or I clearly amended or contextualized that here. But most of the time, I think people don't articulate why they dislike your video because they don't want to be right, or they don't want to be corrected and come to some understanding with the person who posts it. They want to be angry, and they want to leave you feeling puzzled and shaken and less solid, almost in their resolve or in their subject matter and their stance on it. So it's frustrating, but let me look at the video. I can't tell if that person's Twitter avatar is Chowder or Dave Strider. I don't even know what I'm seeing. I have gotten 695 views on a video I published a little over 24 hours ago, which is unheard of for me, except for the time when Undoomed shared one of my videos that I asked him to look at. I didn't ask him to share it or recommend it, but he did, and that was life-changing for me. Undoomed is an awesome person. But out of 700 views, I have gotten 57 likes and 2 dislikes. And that's amazing, you know? And I think part of the reason why that has worked the way it has is because it feels really irritating and condescending and unnecessary, but I made my disclaimers explicitly clear in a very, very deliberate, you know, it could come across as condescending way. I made all of my disclaimers about the fact that this is just my opinion. I don't hate you if you like these people. I don't love you because you hate them like me or dislike them. This is just my opinion. You have every right to disagree. That's totally fine. Your opinion is valid as well. I think that's why it's been going as well as it has so far. And of course, as you see, anytime you criticize the Game Grumps, either nastily or even tactfully on any platform at all, I kind of to an extent anticipate somebody showing up at some point who, you know, shares it with a bunch of other militant Grumps fans and tells them to just mob my video and give it a ton of downvotes. And, you know, that's just something that I think it's smart to be prepared for happening. And if it doesn't happen, that's wonderful. And if it does, you know, so be it. It's one of those things where if people start mobbing you, a lot of the time people will come to your aid and point out how cruddy it is and be like, give this channel support if a small channel's being really, really badly mobbed, I want to say. I don't want to say bullied, because it's not necessarily bullying if people just mass dislike your video. But, you know, if you're getting mobbed by a ton of people because they don't like your video or they don't like your stance, even if they don't mind your logic or because they disregard your logic, people will come to your aid. And that would be great if it happens, but I don't want it to happen. You know, I never want to go out of my way to like manufacture or orchestrate something like that to where I look like the victim. You know, I don't want people to like rush to my aid because I'm being mobbed by some big group of people or some bigger channel that dislikes me. I want to authentically gain support because I say things that are noteworthy. You know, I want to get views by doing something people find to be worthwhile, not just because people felt bad for me, because I've done that. I've subscribed to people because some bigger channel kind of like bullied them, or, you know, let their fans just relentlessly hammer that person and then kind of said like, well, it's your own fault, or sort of continued to encourage it, as opposed to either just being neutral because it's not your responsibility what your fans do, or you going out of your way to say, please don't do that. I'm rambling. I get like rabid when I talk too much. Like when I talk for more than 10 minutes straight, my mouth gets so foamy. It's very peculiar and somewhat unnerving. Sorry, you guys. I'm going to get back to the chat. I know I rambled a little bit and I'm a bit behind seeing what you guys have to say. A little while ago, Rakist News said, yep, little kid died. Oh, Dad wanted to put a headstone of Spider-Man up but needs Marvel's permission. Did the Lords of the Night talk about that, perhaps? That's really shitty. And Marvel said no. Disney said no. That doesn't surprise me. I'm not a huge fan of Marvel. I know that's like devastating to some people because a ton of the people in the groups that I kind of hang out with and chat with are huge Marvel fans. I cannot get into any kind of like Western superhero stuff. It's because I you know, the first thing I got into was Zoids. I have always been into anime, and these very boring, dull, kind of like forced faux maturity type caricatures that are created in, you know, just like Marvel and DC heroes. They're just so, they're just very dull to me, because I I've come to expect very outlandish, over-the-top, dynamic, compelling characters. Like, I couldn't find a character like Spider-Man or Batman compelling if you held a gun to my head, or if you tearfully read me your like 50-page thesis on why this character is the most compelling character of all time. I don't think I have it in me. I'm just not a huge fan. I love One Punch Man, and I love My Hero Academia, as you can see from my silly gifs. But I like them because they're a play on the trope of the Western superhero. I love Danny Phantom. I'm rewatching that for a video I'm going to do soon. But it's just like, unless it kind of subverts the trope of the Western superhero in some way, I can't get into it. That's just, and it sucks for me because I'm probably missing out on a ton, but I can't do it. I can't do it. And I wish I could, because that's something that I could have in common with a lot of people I really, really like. But that's really shitty. Like, I mean, couldn't Disney have just like paid would it be royalties? Couldn't Disney have just paid the royalties for this family to be able to afford the Spider-Man logo? Or does it not work like that? Would Disney like force them to pay royalties routinely? Because that's unbelievably shitty. Your OBS overlays look awesome, Chat-Mort. I need to learn to do some of that. Thank you so much. I started this a long time ago, and I've been adding to it very, very slowly and cautiously because I really don't know what I'm doing. I know a couple years ago, Jeff Holiday did a very short series on how to work OBS, and I don't remember much from that series, unfortunately. I should rewatch it, but I don't know much about it. Everything is like very precariously cobbled together. And I just add more GIFs of characters I loved as a kid and love now as I go. Never heard of them, didn't go watch them after your video, but the video was still good and informative. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, if anything, like I don't hate Game Grumps, obviously, and I don't want people to stop watching them because of my video. But if anything, I love Oni Plays. That channel, I watch every video of theirs, and it genuinely is like the highlight of my day to watch the videos they come out with. His friends are some of the most charming, clever, just hysterically funny, bizarre, off the wall people I've ever listened to. I adore that channel. I adore Oni Plays. His girlfriend is the cutest freaking person in the world. I adore her. I follow her on Instagram and Twitter. Veronica is like an angel. I love her so much. But it's very niche humor. Like, you might know something about me that you didn't want to know if you're mature. Like, tech support has Bando, and I had to like force him to watch Oni Plays to where he's kind of acquired a taste for it, to where he'll humor me and watch it with me. But it's very niche humor, very much so. But I love that channel. I love Oni Plays. If anything comes out of that video, I would recommend that people watch Oni Plays, because it's just a channel that I adore, and it brings me so much joy. And as I said in my very deliberate, kind of condescending disclaimers in my video, obviously you can't know everything about people. You can't be 100% sure of somebody's character from what you see of them online. Although it's definitely pretty demonstrative and illustrative when you see hours and hours of footage of these people doing improv and chatting over Let's Plays. Like, I feel like you know a lot more about like Danny and Aaron from the Game Grumps, for example, than you do from somebody who films videos and then just posts scripted filmed videos in a much more controlled environment. You can still edit your Let's Plays, but when the entirety of the video, the substance of the video, is your conversation with someone, a lot of who you are will come through, and it's a little bit easier to get a more comprehensive picture of that person's character. But I just want to include the disclaimer that obviously I don't know Chris. I don't know any of his friends or the people on his channel or his girlfriend. I don't know these people in person, but I genuinely believe that Chris is a really good person. Just how good of an owner he is of his pets, how much he and his girlfriend love their pets. I truly believe they are good people, and if anything, I want them to be successful and happy, and I want him and all of his friends to be rewarded for how charming and funny and unique they are, you know? So watch Oni Plays if you want, if you haven't already. I love them so much. I love all of them. Stream sniping you, by the way, on Twitch while I play 7 Days. Thank you. I've never played 7 Days, did I? But it's very interesting. I've watched a ton of people play it. The cats are like thumping around, and it sounds like there's like adults crashing around in my kitchen, and it's really disturbing. Why did the chat jump? Don't do that. I hope we can both get 1K subs, Chat-Mort. Thank you, Jarl. We will. Soon we will. I mean, we don't have to be like secretive about Sidequest coming up. We definitely will then. But it's exciting, you know. It's just so exciting to have a bigger audience and to get to meet more people and share your ideas and your creativity and what you're passionate about with more people. It's fun and exciting, and you know, it's a really great opportunity. You already do, whether it's 100 views or 10, said Shiogarath. Love cats. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. As long as I'm helping people, as long as I'm entertaining people, as long as I'm purging all that like sort of chaotic, creative, destructive energy in a slightly less destructive way than I could be, I'm happy, you know? I think by the time we do episode 2 of Sidequest, we're going to get a mass of subs. I think so too. I know Magog believes in us a lot, obviously, and thinks we're going to do well. I'm just anxious, and I feel bad because a lot of people love Beardy and love Weebs, and they're gone now, and you know, everybody has their favorite member of Sidequest, and I hope they don't resent us or feel like we are like intentionally replacing the people they love. You know, we are our own unique people with our own senses of humor and our own wit and our own, you know, setups and like physical character designs, and you know, I hope people don't resent us for that. I know there are always going to be some crappy people, but I think in general, like, Sidequest people are really, really cool people, and I think most of them I think they will embrace us and like us, and I'm kind of I'm just nervous about going on anybody's streams. Like the one I did with you was so much fun. And the one I did on Irate Prostate's channel was a blast. I loved doing that, but it made me really anxious that there were like the first 2 people who showed up in the chat, 2 or 3, were just these awful, unbelievably nasty trolls. And I'm kind of nervous now to go on anybody's streams, because I know what it's like now to be optimistic about something but really, really scared, and then to have people despise you and to think you're some like lunatic, like progressive cat lady or something who's barren. It was very awful and bizarre, the things they assumed about me. But people are always going to do that. That's what happens on the internet if you put yourself out there. But I'm nervous. I know there are going to be people who don't like us, but that's just life. People are always going to not like you. So I think once we get in our stride, like you said, by like episode 2, I think once we kind of feel it out a little bit more, and I'm really nervous, so I'm going to be drinking a lot of wine, which is definitely going to be integrated into my character. You know, it'll take me a while to get into it, but I think that's natural for anybody on a new platform like that. And yeah, I think once we kind of hit our stride and get more comfortable in our characters and with the dynamic with the other members, I think we'll do really well, and people will really embrace us and start to like us. Lol, Chat-Mort turned into a 1960s Barbie for a second. What do you mean? What did I do? That was so long ago that I'll never know what you're talking about. dislikes mean you're doing something right. You just don't want more dislikes than likes. Yeah, that's very true, and I appreciate that. It's cliche, but I always remind myself, you know how your parents tell you when you're little, there are always going to be people who dislike you, honey. And there are some people that if you get to know them, you know, if they liked you, you'd feel like you were doing something wrong. Like, I know that sounds mean and judgmental, but there's some atrocious people out there, and if certain people despise me, it's kind of a thrill, you know. It does, like, it does sort of strengthen within you, I'm doing the right thing, you know. It reinforces your self-confidence and your trajectory as a person. Sort of. Yeah, thank you, Allie. Your channel's growing. Soon you'll reach 1,000 subs. I will, and then I can stream on my phone again, because I loved doing those silly mobile streams. When Domino and Cammy were fixed, and I had to stay in the guest room with them while they healed, because we couldn't let them out at night, or they would roughhouse with the grown-up kitties, and we didn't want them getting injured after getting fixed. I did, like, 2 nights in a row, I did live streams, just shut in the guest room with the kittens. And then Cammy had to stay longer, obviously, because the spay is more taxing on an animal than a neuter. You know, instead of snipping things off with no stitches even necessary, you're taking somebody's, like, jiggly water balloony organs out and closing them back up. So a lot of those nights I was just in there with Cam, and we were hanging out in the guest room while she rested and recovered. I did live streams from my phone, and that is so much fun. It's so different than this format that it's like it's a whole different format in my mind. As different as this, like, OBS streaming is from editing videos, scripting and editing videos. And I'll be excited to be able to do that again. So I can stream from around my house as I'm, like, crashing around and knocking things over, and my cats are attacking each other in the background. Because I don't let him in this room, because Domino eats cords. So we can't let him in the computer room. Ever. By the way, that stream we did has the most views. Really? That's awesome. Maybe I'll have you on. See, I've had, like, I had Nemo on. I had Scribe on, and a long time ago I had Sachimo, Manly Chicken, and Hatch on, and we all streamed. But I'm so scared about hosting people on my channel. Like, that's even scarier than being on someone else's channel. But maybe I can have you on my channel sometime, and hopefully we can get you a little bit more exposure, Jarl, because it's weird to think my channel is even big enough to, like, recommend other people and get other people a little bit more support and viewership. But I guess, you know, I don't know. It's a strange thing. Push that like button. Yes, please do. 50 likes and only 2 dislikes looks like a good ratio. Yeah, Jeezy, I was really surprised, and that it's quite possible that that's gonna change. My hair is falling out. I bought these tiny clips. I mean, it's not a tiny clip. I thought it would be a big enough clip to hold my hair up, but it's not. And now my hair is, like, clippy hair. You know, yeah, it's possible that people are gonna get really upset and dislike it and be like, everybody disliked this video because this person is just a jerk and a hater, and they're mean to Susie, and they're bringing up old drama that, you know, you have to be petty and awful to consider it anymore. That could happen, so I'm waiting to see. You like Kinnikuman and Kid Muscle? Yes. Nerd! Thank you, friend! Okay. I'm finally catching up, I think. So, no? Yes? Disney said they wouldn't do it because it might adversely affect their brand having it associated with a dead kid, and it was a company policy. That's the shittiest policy of all time, and that really tells you something about Disney, you know, as a company, as a soulless corporation. I don't know, man, what's going on. Okay, so as much as this looks like I've got weird lighting from somewhere else in my house, none of you care about this at all. at all, but I'm going to tell you anyway, because you're all my hostages now. This is my house, and you can't stop me. I don't do this, but I got like box dye from Walmart and dyed my hair myself last night. Just because my roots are obviously like the color of my eyebrows, and it looked pretty bad, and I don't like spending the money to get my hair professionally done, and I wait way too long between hairdos. So, Walmart is like this like purgatory like nightmare. It's dim, it's smelly. You can like see the like teeming, like cresting waves of bacteria on the floor and all over everything, and it just like smells like vomit in certain places. So I actually was like visiting my mom yesterday, and we're in Walmart, and we're like squinting at this like bottom shelf of all these like crappy, weird, different brands of like hair dye. And all the ladies on the boxes look so photoshopped. Like, not one of those hair colors looked natural at all. Like, nobody in their right mind would ever intentionally be like, I want my hair to be that color. Like, they looked like the worst photoshops I've ever seen. So we're just like looking at these boxes like, what is this? How do women function? How do you do this? So I picked this color that looked pretty good, and I put it on, and I colored my hair last night, and it's not too hard. It's an interesting thing to do, because like you could sustain chemical burns if you're not careful, which makes it a little bit entertaining. It makes it interesting enough that I like doing it. But it turns out that it's real red, man. Like, my hair is normally like this dark ashy color, I guess they call it. But the roots of my hair, where it was growing out dark, you can kind of see, because that's where you were supposed to put the color on longer, to let it really sink in. I mean, it looks like which direction I'm pointing. Reagan, did you guys watch Mob Psycho 100? Like, it looks like Reagan's hair. It's like red. The roots of my hair are like red. It's pretty disturbing and alarming. I don't mind it, but I was not anticipating it, so it was indeed somewhat alarming. So that happened. And stuff. Hi Cabaret. I'm literally playing 7 Days right now, lol. I know I need to look into it. I know, haven't they gone through a bunch of updates? Like, my fiance and some of his friends have played it, and it looks really interesting. I mean, I've seen people play it, but not at length. It was my fault. I have that effect on chat. Well, why do you do that, Spectacular Wanderer? Ultimate Muscle on Gamecube was fun. There was an Ultimate Muscle game? Really? I'm gonna look that up now. I had a ton of... You know what? I think about this show all the time. The Ultimate Muscle cartoon. And I could not freaking remember what it was called. But I think about it all the time. Like, I wasn't super into it, but it was on with the same, like, lineup of cartoons I was into. That makes me so happy. Thank you, guys. You changed my life today, and you didn't even mean to. The game I think that was the most fun that I had for GameCube was Bomberman Generation. And it was just, like, the party, like, 4-player mode was so much fun. Oh, my God. But, most of the GameCube games I had or actually played, other than Melee, which I was very good at, as we all were as kids because it was so much fun, were just Sonic games, which is so embarrassing. But I had a hardcore, like, Christian tier Sonic phase, and I loved those games. And then somebody broke into my house, and I know it was a teenager. I know it was some stupid kid, because all of my mom's, like, gorgeous ancient antiques were untouched. But my GameCube and all my games were gone. And that was the only thing different. And, you know, I still, part of me thinks it was my cousin, who I also think stole our driver's licenses and did some other horrible things to me that made my life an absolute living hell for years. But, you know, part of me also thinks it was just like a neighbor kid. But I had all those little GameCube manuals for all my Sonic games in my nightstand in my room, because they had like character bios and stuff in them, and I would read those just obsessively, and I loved them. So those are the only things I have left of my GameCube and my games that got stolen. So that was shitty. Really shitty. Can't believe some fucker got Magog kicked from his Twitter account for a week. What? When? When did that happen? Did he post? Did he? When did that happen? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I knew about that. It's just... yeah, that's bizarre. Okay. I'm going to retweet that. I saw that earlier, but... yeah, I don't understand people. People are nuts, dude. People are absolutely nuts. There are always those people on Twitter who are like, well, if you weren't a stupid coward, if you weren't a joke, you would be showing your face. You know, how do I know you're not like 15 different sock accounts all liking each other's responses to me? If you were a real adult, you'd show your face. Don't you see what happens to people who show their faces on Twitter? Like, people are nuts. It's not safe to affiliate your political commentary persona with your real life identity. It's not safe. People are out of their minds. And it's not just that they're like mentally unstable and irrational. It's that they have no integrity. They could not care less whether they're lying or not, as long as they get their way, as long as they win. So many people are like that. Like that Renfamous girl. I'm scared to even say her name. But like, have you guys seen that Renfamous person on Twitter who like hates anime people and anybody conservative? And she has this like whole like little cult of followers who will mass flag people, and then they brag about it, and then she, oh my god, which GIF doesn't show up there? That's gonna drive me insane. And then she'll like retweet them and egg them on and shower them in praise from her other fans and herself when they get people banned. And a lot of the time these people are being douchebags. Like, you have to be careful not to do anything to invite getting banned. You shouldn't have to, but you have to be careful. But on the other hand, targeted harassment is explicitly against Twitter's terms of service. And like this girl and like the little culture she's created explicitly around targeted harassment, they always get away with it. Always. Because, you know, the shareholders like the side that she aligns with politically. But stuff like that is just insane. Insane. Sorry about the tangent. Give yourself time and you will get used to it and may even start to interact with them in a positive way for yourself. One thing that was always really interesting to me, I haven't talked to Nick in quite a while, Wizard of Cause Nick, but something that I've always been in awe of is how he deals with trolls. Like, when people are really, really nasty and awful to Nick, and people have always hated Nick because he's associated with Jeff, which is also shitty to me, but, you know, everybody can like and dislike who they want. He talks to people. You can see this on Twitter. I don't know if he's done it as much lately, but Nick will just talk to people like you'd be talking to somebody that sits down next to you in the bar and is just being a dick to you because they had a bad day. And it breaks people down, and when you're not like all shocked and offended and you don't give them the response they want, they just kind of are, the wind is taken out of their sails and they end up sort of just talking to you like a person. And then they have to sit there with how uncomfortable it is to be confronted by an adult who they just called all these absurd names for no reason. I was always impressed with how he deals with people who are just assholes like that for no reason and try to goad you into things. Hope you feel comfortable coming back to my Sunday show. Yes, we'll definitely do that soon. I had a blast on your show. I will gladly come on your shows. Okay, I need to start having people on more often. I need to just have people on. I just need to. And I don't because I'm scared of talking to people. Oh, hi, Toady. Sorry about the giant comment I left. I was curious, though, what are some of your favorite Let's Players now that you don't watch Game Grumps? I didn't respond to you yet. I actually, like, in the bath earlier, I, like, went through and I read all of the comments I've not gotten to yet. And yours, I don't mind that it was long, but I want to give myself time to digest it to respond adequately, considering all the effort you put into it. So I will get back to you. I think, I think your part 1 and your part 3 were there, but part 2 of your comment, because you said you posted it in like 3 separate segments since it cuts you off when you use too many characters. I didn't see part 2 actually. Where are you? Yeah, I'm not seeing your part 2. I saw your part 1 and your part 3 comments, and it's quite possible that part 2 just got kicked to like the weird little corral of comments that YouTube doesn't want anyone to see and hopes you won't get around to approving. So I'll have to check that. But just in case you have part 2 somewhere and you want to repost it, you can. But what are some of your favorite Let's Players now that you don't watch Game Grumps? In all honesty, I mostly exclusively I watch Oni Plays. I just watch a few select channels from each genre that I'm interested in. I watch like 3 makeup or beauty YouTubers. I watch a couple, I don't want to say drama because I despise the way that word is misused to mean controversy or melodrama or conflict, but a couple commentary type channels, Creepshow Art, Ready to Glare, Siren Cove. I watched her video today about her life, and she talked about her cat dying, and I started bawling. That was a good video. But I only watch like a couple people of each genre that I'm interested in, actually. Other than Oni Plays, I don't watch hardly anybody. I watch PewDiePie, and I watch his, when he actually does playthroughs of things like Minecraft or the absolutely surreal, like, world bending thing he did where he streamed himself playing Minecraft while talking to James Charles. That was, I still don't believe that happened. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. I can't make sense of it any more than like Ben Shapiro hosting Meme Review. Just, you know, worlds that you never expect to collide due to the internet, they now do. And my little brain just cannot wrap itself around it. I don't watch any other Let's Players, really. I know people have told me, because I was really harsh on Super Mega, and I said to someone else, I absolutely have not given them a fair shot. I have not. The only thing I know about them is my very bad impression of them I got from Oni Plays. And I have not given them a shot, and people say their stuff is good, but then they're not really a Let's Player channel, are they? People have said, Kevin, what's his name? Kevin but some Kevin who does solo Let's Plays is really good, and I meant to look into him, but I have to check the tweet where somebody recommended him. I do watch a little bit of Noob3. I watch cartoons. Okay, I totally lied. There's this whole genre of people that I don't count as being a fan of, because I watch them because my fiance made me watch them and I started liking them, so I consider them like his channels, not mine. I watch H2O Delirious. I watch cartoons. I watch Chilled Chaos a little bit of Noob3. Swagger Souls, I love him. Monto, I watch a lot of like Dead by Daylight people, or people who do a lot of Dead by Daylight, because I freaking love that game and I have very few people to play it with. So the Let's Players I watch other than Oni Plays, like Oni Plays is the only channel in that very specific, like, buddies sitting on a couch chatting while one of them plays a game genre that Oni Plays and Game Grumps and just a few other channels fall into. So in that like specific subgenre, Oni Plays is the only thing I watch. But there are a lot of other gameplay channels that I watch, but I wouldn't consider like H2O Delirious in the same category as like Oni Plays. And I love Soviet Womble. Like, he posts a video like every 3 years, and they're always the funniest video I've seen in months. But that's how the the more comprehensive I can be, which was I said a lot of words and very few of them pertained to your question, Toady SP, so I apologize. Is that Castiel in your profile picture? My little eyeballs don't work. I need stronger contacts. Oh, you guys still have your GameCubes? I love that. Woo live. Hi Ryan Lynn, welcome. My favorite GameCube game is Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem. I've never heard of that. One of my favorite video games of all time is terrible. They ported it to the PC and it is unplayable. Absolutely, like, hideously, like, soul-crushingly unplayable. But it was for the DS. And it wasn't Dementium or Dementium. I think it's I'm going to call it Dementium. Dementium 2, the sequel. That game for the DS is the most freaking terrifying game of all time. It's similar. It's similar to Silent Hill in some ways, I would say. I don't know what else to liken it to. Not necessarily Resident Evil, but the second Dementium game, I've played the first one and it's not as good. The second one was much more polished. About this guy trying to find his wife and daughter or figure out what happened to them. That game. Your profile picture's Charlie Day. Okay, well it's very small and I saw a man in a very nice sort of like taupey colored jacket and a blue tie and I was like, I'm gonna take a wild guess here. But like Dementium 2 is a freaking amazing game, but you have to get through the first couple weeks of nightmares and then you get acclimated to it. I need to play that again. I need to find that and play it again. Give myself nightmares. But like that was a game in high school. I tried to get all my friends to play it and then they'd be kind of quiet for a couple days. And I'd be like, so are you playing that game that I love so much? And they'd be like, no, it gave me nightmares. Can I bring it back tomorrow? But I loved it. It was so good. Yeah, I can't freaking believe that Magog got suspended for something so absurd and unfounded. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I'm gonna watch me play Neverwinter stream. Yeah. I watch so much nerdy stuff on YouTube, like 3 blue, 1 brown. I don't know what that is. I don't know who or what that is. I'll have to look into it. And you're welcome, Toady. I hope that was a somewhat helpful answer, even remotely. You used to watch H2O Delirious a lot. Yeah, you're welcome. I just love Delirious. He's so cute. His demeanor is so charming. No matter like whose channel, whether it's like Squirrel or Gorillafant or Cartoons or whoever's channel I'm watching in their group, I'm always rooting for Cartoons because he's just so silly and endearing, you know. It's a survival horror game, but really messes with your mind. I love games like that. I love survival horror games that, like, it has to be this very specific brand of horror. Like, without you playing Dementium, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of Silent Hill-esque, I would say. Spectacular Wonder said, I completely admit to being addicted to Mr. Jingles, who plays all the combat games like World of Warships. Something about an old Englishman who's been playing that since like the 70s is awesome. How cool. And Allie, you still have your GameCube from 2002. If you don't know about really complicated math stuff, you probably wouldn't like it. I don't know anything about math. I know very little about math. I always berate my dad because he's amazing at math. I didn't inherit his math skills even remotely. I inherited his frown line, which I will need Botox someday. If it poisons me and I die, a small mercy. I got that incredibly cheap. And I got his really unbelievably oily, greasy skin. And I didn't get his math skills. He couldn't have given me that. He gave me his acne and his frown line. Thanks, Dad. No, that's mean and childish. I think I have not streamed on Twitch in a long time. I probably lost all the followers I had on Twitch, but I just can't make myself do it if I'm not in the mood. I played Don't Starve on there. I love Don't Starve. I love Age of Empires. And did the new one ever come out, or is that not out yet? I'm not sure. I love Age of Empires. I got really good at that. That's one of the few games I actually really excelled at once I put my mind to it. What else do I like? I don't play a lot anymore at all, sadly. I don't play much. I played a lot of Binding of Isaac, but I'm not very good at it. And I haven't played much else at all lately. I played The Sims again for a while just because it was something easy to stream. Please, Malwarebytes, not right now. And I haven't touched anything since, you know. I've got little swirly hair stuck around my ears and I don't like it. You should be straight hairs, not swirly hairs. So, I don't know what else to talk about. My energy's almost completely depleted already. That's so pathetic. I don't know. What do I talk about? What do we discuss? I don't know what to discuss. I'm not sure. What's been going on in my life? Very little that is worthy of note. Jeezy said, my workstation nuked itself, so I gotta play GTA 5 when I brought it home to fix it all weekend. I have GTA 5 and I've never played it. I've played tech support as Bando's version, but I have not played mine. And he made me stop because I kept getting arrested and I kept costing him money because I didn't know what I was doing yet. Except for that one time I will always tell everyone about that everyone's probably sick of hearing about, where as Trevor, I was going to say, was I Trevor? But obviously if I was playing the game, why wouldn't I be Trevor? The ultimate sexual fantasy, being Trevor Phillips. I hijacked a taco truck and I had like a 4-star rating because of just a myriad of mischievous things I'd done. And tech supporters Bando was yelling at me. He's like, run! What are you doing? Like, you're costing me all this work and all this money every time you get arrested. So I got in this taco truck, but I was in a traffic jam. So I just drove straight in highway traffic slowly. And somehow I lost all the cops. It was amazing. It was phenomenal. I would like to consider myself a prodigy, but that would be blatantly dishonest. It was just a fluke, but I was very pleased with myself. We watched everything so far of season 2 of OPM this last week or weekend, and I don't know how I feel about it. I don't loathe it. I don't detest it. Dying. I love Garo. Is that his name? As a villain. He's fascinating and compelling. Too muscly for my tastes, but I love him. But I don't know about the new animation studio. I don't think Genos is as pretty, which is an absolute travesty. Genos is beautiful and flawless, and he should be depicted as such. I don't like that Sonic is in it so little, although if you're just following the manga, obviously you can't control that. You know, you can control like what part, like you can control what chunks the story is divided into to be in, you know, seasons. But once you're in that, you can't control how much a character appears in that. But I don't like how little Sonic is there. I don't like that. Is this a spoiler? Maybe I shouldn't say it. something happens to Sonic that is very anticlimactic in the anime that was not so much in the story, in the manga. But I think they're just cramming everything in for time. And the one thing that's really, I was going to say irksome, but that's a massive understatement. The one thing that is I'm just dumbfounded by with season 2 of One Punch Man is the sound directing, the sound editing, the sound mixing. Yes, the sound mixing. Why do they mix the Shadow the Hedgehog gunshot sound into everything that happens? Why? Every footstep, every time somebody thumps over on the ground or against a wall, every time there's any kind of impact with people punching each other or something. Whoever decided to put the Shadow the Hedgehog gunshot sound in every single like minuscule impact that happens in combat or just walking around, who is that? What is their address? I just want to talk. I've some questions for you, just a few. It's one of those things where it's a very specific complaint that most people probably couldn't care less about, but things like that drive me absolutely insane. Like, it's like the Wilhelm scream, which I find to be just a slap in the face to your audience, and this very like stuffy, arrogant little like in-joke between people who make movies, and they think they're all special and snooty, and it's very nice we included that annoying soundbite from years ago that destroys your immersion and just slaps you in the face and mocks you because you've already wasted your money on a movie ticket, and now we don't care if your immersion is destroyed and the movie is completely cheapened, and you're brought back to the fact that you're sitting in a theater watching big pictures on a screen. Freaking hate the Wilhelm scream. Oh my god. But it's like, whoever did the sound mixing for season 2 of One Punch Man, it's like the Wilhelm scream on steroids. Why? Like, I get maybe they had a very, very specific vision in mind with making all of the combat and impact sounds. They made them very crisp. Like, they integrated a ton of, like, wood splitting and cracking sounds and metallic sounds into every punch, every impact, every fall, every, like, footstep. Which is very strange, but I could get behind it if it wasn't for the goddamn Shadow the Hedgehog gunshot sound that plays every time you hit the little A button on the start menu to pick a level to play. In everything that happens, why? Why did you put that in? Why did you do that? Why? I don't understand, and it makes me really angry and frustrated and hate everything and want to die. Why did you do that? Can someone tell me? I don't understand. I don't understand. Everything else is good. Everything else is fine. I love Garo. I don't want to say Garo like a stupid American. I love him as a character. Like, I can't be, like, into him like the gross little, like, creepy weeby fangirl I am toward fictional characters, because he's just too muscly for me. I can't get into that. But I love his character. I love Drive Knight. We know nothing about Drive Knight, but I adore him. His design is just so cool. Shadow. Damn, exactly. Or damn, not here, when he falls off the edge of the terrible... Shadow the Hedgehog was the first video game I ever avidly played, besides Game Boy games that I wasn't very good at as a kid. And even as a little 14-year-old who was like, oh my god, this is everything I ever wanted. I need this in my life. I am going to immerse myself in every minuscule piece of lore about this edgy, emo, gun-wielding, swearing hedgehog creature. Even as that child, I acknowledged that this game is terrible. But I loved it. I'd play it again in a heartbeat if I could find it. I'm downloading PCU to watch it again. It's crazy that it's art becoming reality, seeing how people are acting lately. Yeah. Oh, and you said earlier, I didn't even realize you could get arrested. I've only ever gotten killed by the cops. You can get arrested, which is a very anticlimactic way to go in GTA 5. But I'm pretty sure I've been just arrested before, you know, if they just corner you somewhere. Oh, I'm dying. I'm fine. Actually, everything's fine. That was hyperbole. I'm fine. Okay. I'm hungry. I don't understand my body. It might be the tism I suspect I have, but I don't understand my body. Total, just nonsensical tangent. I don't understand anything about my body. I have like dangerously low blood pressure almost all the time, so I'm constantly like stuffing Ruffles disgusting chips in my face because if I don't, I feel like death has like encompassed my entire soul. And I always have really low blood sugar too. Non-diabetic hypoglycemia. What the hell is that about? I don't like it. If I don't eat yogurt basically every 5 minutes, I feel like my veins are full of like paper clips, like uncurled paper clips just scraping against everything, and I feel like I'm about to lapse into a coma. So I have both those problems, and let me tell you, low blood sugar, like chronic alarming low blood sugar that makes the nurses make funny faces that they don't know how to hide when they take your freaking, that and really low blood pressure, it's a good combo. Also, I don't get hungry ever, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because I'm not very active, but I think part of it is just the executive function issue you have when you have autism and just not understanding how to correctly interpret your body's signals to yourself. But I don't get hungry. I just get so critically dangerously low in my blood sugar that I feel myself starting to get really shaky and disoriented, and I know I have to eat like now or I'm going to get sick. And if I eat about every 4 hours, I'm usually fine. But it's like I'm not hungry, but if I don't eat, I'm going to not be capable of even thinking, let alone driving anywhere or walking or communicating to someone, can you go get me a burger or something or a bag of chips? It's just weird. What is wrong with me? I should not be alive. I should not. It flies in the face of God and nature and science that I'm alive, and I still am. It's just like, I don't understand at all. Oh yeah, in PCU, the college boys tricked the protester into having a protest against protests and chanting, "We're not gonna protest, we're not gonna Yeah, it's very strange, and I would like to ask those people, were you intending to make this as a commentary? Or did you like not believe that this could ever be reality? I wanna know what those people think. Yeah, I know I burped. Not like meaty, satisfying, like robust belches, Rakist news, but they were better than nothing, I suppose. One burp per video at least. There was some guy on Twitter. I don't know his name, so I can't out him and get him picked on, even if I wanted to, and I wouldn't want to anyway. But this guy messaged me on Twitter and was like, "Hey, do you want a pay pig to give you money to belch?" And I feel really bad, as bizarre as that is. I feel bad for not responding to him, because I was gonna get back to him and be like, not like, "Get away from me, you freak," because anything, once you've been on the internet enough to know that people are into feet, like virtually anything else seems tame to me, and I have no problem with. But I always meant to get back to that guy and be like, I'm flattered, but no, I'm not comfortable with that. But I burp like once a video at least, so you can subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see some of that for free, buddy. But I just forgot to ever get back to him, and the poor dude was probably like, well, I just outed myself as a lunatic, and she hates me, and she's probably mocking me. publicly to everyone she knows, and he probably deleted the DM. So I should have just been tactful to the dude, even as uncomfortable as a fetish as that is to contemplate. Everybody's different. As long as you're not in defeat, you still have rights, and you're cool. You're fine. You do what you gotta do. I will support you fully. I have to tinkle. And I think I want some popcorn. So I'm probably gonna go. If you guys don't mind. I have a video coming out that I worry is going to come off as SJW-y a little bit. I might put it out tomorrow because, a lot of my videos are about like mental health stuff and just weird personal things that I want to share with people. And then that's like maybe a fifth of my videos, and the rest of them are more like political commentary like you guys are familiar with. Rakis said, lol, there's some guy out there making compilation videos of Chat-Mort burping. Yeah, freaking PMVs with the techno music. That's a really uncomfortable but amusing thing to think about. I don't know, man. You do what you gotta do. I'm not gonna judge you. I think belching is amazing. I can't like fathom it being a sexual thing. But if a girl is like super feminine and articulate and soft-spoken in a video and then she belches, I'm like, oh my god, I love you. Instant favorite the video, instant subscribe. Like, you are a kindred spirit. You are my sister. I will fight to the death for your happiness. I don't need to know anything else about you. So the enthusiasm I can appreciate, I guess. But yeah, this video it's one of the ones that's not about politics or commentary type stuff like my recent video that's still getting an obscene amount of views for me, and it's really scary, and I don't understand why this one in particular is getting so popular. Here, I'm gonna refresh it and see how many views it's got now. 714 views. 730 views from a day ago. That is bizarre. Absolutely bizarre to me. And I love it, but it's utterly surreal to me to have had 730 views on a video I made, other than that one years ago that Undoomed recommended to people because I asked him, could you take a look at this and tell me what you think? And he turned around and shared it everywhere. Chat-Mort and the Belch Girl Army. Jesus, yeah. I fart on my streams. No one knew until now. See, that's another thing. Like, I know I'm a child. I know I'm an absolute child, but I think farting is hilarious. I know it's dumb and gross and stupid, but it is hilarious to me. It will never not be funny to me. Ever. It's just funny. And, and you can't talk about it on social media because these fetishists just like stick to you like burrs, and it's really strange and uncomfortable. So it's sad that you can't like just joke about how dumb and funny they are, because things can't just be dumb and funny on the internet. They have to make it weird. There's always somebody out there to make it weird without fail. What's the average watch time? I don't know, Rakist News, and I kind of don't want to know because it's probably not very good. And then my sort of ignorant, not thoroughly thought out delusion that people actually like the video will go away. Would I find that in YouTube Studio? Perhaps? Let me see. Videos? How do I see? Analytics, perhaps? My god, look at that. That's weird to see. The skyrocketing. How do I find the average watch time? Watch time in minutes is down 5% from when? last 28 days? Yeah, probably. Videos. This is the video. Here I am seeing it. If I click it, does that take me to the editing page? Yes. Analytics? Hold on, friends. Watch time minutes. Stop. Go away, chart. I don't understand you. The watch time says 8.2 thousand minutes. Audience retention? I mean, it looks like it definitely dwindles throughout the video, and then toward the end, like toward my disclaimers, people leave. It seems like, because they are I'm very long-winded in regard to that, but I feel like I have to be to protect myself, kind of, because not all Game Grumps fans, another disclaimer there for you, but a lot of them are just militant, and I feel like I have to be very deliberate with my disclaimers to have something to fall back on when they accuse me of being like horrible and just digging up old controversies for no reason. Okay. Goodbye, Jarl. Enjoy your dinner. You want over 40% for the video. Go to Studio Beta, then to the video, then click on Analytics. Watch time. Do you mean like the audience retention? Because my audience retention is, yeah, it's 32.3. The video is almost half an hour long, and the average view duration is almost 11 minutes. So people aren't sticking through the whole video. And stuff. I hope the people who disliked it stuck through the whole video before coming to their conclusion on whether they liked it or not, but fairly sure they did not. But that's okay. Percentage, not minutes. Where? What? The percentage is 32.3%. Yes. Yeah, the audience retention is 32.3%, so not phenomenal. Thank you for, like, holding my hand through finding that. 32.3 is good. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I know... I also don't like it when people like your video just because they like you and leave. Like, it's not a horrible thing. They're doing it to be nice and supportive, which is wonderful. But it's also like, if you don't watch the whole video, but you just want to like it to make me feel better about myself, that's not as helpful as, if you watched the whole thing and then decided you liked it. Means that 33% probably did stick through the whole video, which is great. Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of the people who liked it just hate my brain. They hate Game Grumps and like to see people shit on the channel. But I can't do anything about that, and I don't like the channel either, So the thing is, I don't know. I try to be as fair and objective as possible when it comes to giving videos likes or dislikes or whatever it may be. Ugh, I just dribbled water all over myself. Somebody out there is going to make a compilation of that. Ugh. But most of the time, if it's somebody I'm already subscribed to and I like them, which is the case if I subscribe to them, I will like their video. And then if I really, really disagree with them, or just the tone is really off-putting to me or unfair, or the way they go about explaining something is really illogical or mean-spirited, I will unlike the video. But it's incredibly rare that I actually dislike a video. It's incredibly rare. And I try not to go to people's videos just to dislike them if they're doing something shitty, because you're still giving them views. You're still helping them incrementally. So, yeah, stuff. But, that was a little bit better. But yeah, I almost always like a video by default, because I do want to support people. And then if I really, really am put off by something in the video, or I just think it's really mean-spirited or unfair, I will unlike it. yeah, but it's incredibly rare that I dislike a video and stuff. Oh my god, don't make it weird. I don't care if you're kidding, you're making it weird, dude. No. But yeah. Watch time trumps everything else. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that's not bad. I don't like looking at the audience retention stuff because it doesn't feel good to know that people are like, I don't care what you have to say. And admittedly, part of that is my responsibility because I'm not as succinct as I could be. I'm still rambly. I still repeat myself a lot, and I'm getting much better about it, and I have to if I want people to reasonably sit through my crap. You know, it's not reasonable for me to be hurt if people have better things to do, if there are other channels who get to their point faster. And to an extent, like, I know a lot of people, they'll watch a video and react to it, and 30 seconds in, they'll cut away and be like, it's 30 seconds in and nothing has been said yet. If that's your criteria for liking or disliking a video, you will always dislike my videos. Because as you guys know, if you've been here for a little while, I always do these kind of housekeeping type things. I'm conversational and kind of laid back, and I'm just more conversational with you guys at the beginning of the video. I'm usually wearing a goofy weeb shirt, so I always show that to you guys because I don't have my camera far away enough to where you can see my whole shirt from the get-go. Until I get a better mic, I can't really do that. So, you know, if your criteria for am I going to sit through this video or not is that's not gonna happen. You know, I feel as if just the way I think about and view those things in regard to being a YouTuber and making videos, I don't like when people get into the video like instantaneously or within the first 10 seconds. I don't like that at all. And I know I'm in the minority there, but I want to make content that I'm proud of and confident in and that I would enjoy watching. I want to make what my personal experiences and perceptions cause me to find to be high quality content. And I don't like content where the person just dives right into the subject matter. I like content where the people showcase their personality a little bit, where they're kind of chatty and laid back, and you feel like you're getting to know them and hanging out with them, and like they're valuing your time and treating you like a friend that's there. I like videos like that, and that's why I treat you guys that way as my viewers. That's what I like to see, and I know that's unpopular and people don't have the patience for stuff like that. But that's one part of my videos that is not... I mean, it may change. I can't guarantee that it won't, but I can't see it changing anytime soon because it's a preference thing for me. I like videos that are more chatty and laid back, and if I decide that I like someone's personality and their looks and the way they express themselves and impart their opinions, I want to see a ton of that, you know? I stan, I guess, as the kids would say. I want to see as much of your personality and you expressing yourself as I can get. So there are things, though, that I do need to change. You know, like I have said multiple times, ironically enough, I do repeat myself a lot. And I know that's part of why my viewer retention isn't great. And my older videos were terrible. And I still do it too much. But compared to how I used to be, I have improved vastly in regard to figuring out how I want to say something the first time. And I still have some work to do, and I can't be offended, and I can't wallow in self-pity when people don't sit through something when I struggle to figure out what I'm even trying to say, and in a circular way sort of repeat the same thing 5 times till I feel like I've sort of vaguely gotten around the subject and somewhere in there sort of touched on the wording I wanted or the way I wanted to articulate it. And stuff. And I think I'm going to go here, actually. Hold on. I saw something that makes me really, really angry. here on Twitter. Somebody bred cats, and then the cats hated people, and they tossed the cat outside to fend for itself. I really hope they're kidding, because this is a really nice person. I really hope that person is kidding about breeding animals and then abandoning them outside to get torn apart by coyotes. That's horrific. Okay, I'm not going to get into the whole animal thing. Everybody has different opinions than me, but if you put animals into the world and then you abandon them and leave them to horrific deaths intentionally, animals that are domesticated that you taught and brought up as house animals, and then you abandon them, that's evil and unbelievable and atrocious. And I don't know. I'm dumbfounded by things like that. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that thing that I just saw on Twitter that is just astounding to me. Hi Skittles McStabby Pants. Why is more than 500 views scary? Because I don't get views like that ever. I mentioned it a little bit ago, but it seems like when you talk about the Game Grumps, you get a ton of clicks on your videos immediately. And part of it might just be because this is kind of a departure from my political commentary, so it's not tagged as a political thing, because it's quite possible that YouTube goes out of their way to hide videos that you tag as being like political commentary or political opinion. But yeah, for me it's completely unheard of to get over 500 views on a video in a day. I had over 500 views within the first 24 hours of this video being uploaded, which is just unheard of. You know, it's just completely astounding to me, and it's never happened before. It's got almost 800 views now, and I have a couple videos that have close to 10,000 views, but they're really old videos and they're outliers in regard to the content I make. The only video I've ever had get anywhere near this much traction in the short of an amount of time was my Why I'm Not a Feminist video that I asked Undoomed to look at, and without me knowing he was going to do it, he recommended it to everybody and told everybody to watch it. I've never had that happen since, like just of my own power. People that abandon their own pets should be shot. I have to agree. Yeah, I'm blown away by the comment I just saw from somebody I like. And that's something that it makes me really pissed off. So I should make a video about it at some point. But the sort of culture among conservatives of mocking anybody who loves animals or educates themselves on how to take care of animals or cares for them adequately, the mockery and just this sneering disgust toward people who own cats for some reason that conservatives do, or just people who, I don't know, respect animals. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen, and it's just really, really sad that people who much of the time call themselves these wonderful Christian family people, like who fight for the rights of unborn babies, which is something I'm hugely passionate about, will sneer at and be unbelievably cruel and condescending toward people who like animals, who have pets, who don't treat animals like absolute shit and blame them for things they don't know they're doing wrong because you are unwilling or unable to train them or teach them better. That's something that I don't understand at all about conservatives, and people get really nasty when you bring that up. I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. And the whole thing about conservatives hating people and treating people like they're less than human if they like cats is just, it's the most peculiar phenomenon I've ever come across. One of the most peculiar, at least in modern times. I don't get it. It's very peculiar and contradictory to a lot of the things that self-professed conservatives identify as and identify with in regard to beliefs. I don't get it. But yeah, I just saw somebody on Twitter who I talk to a lot and who seems really decent say that they not only bred animals, when every animal you breed equals one animal that is desperate and lonely and afraid and would love a family, that is euthanized in its youth and its prime at a shelter senselessly because they're overrun and can't care for all the animals they have. But then they threw the animal out because it was aggressive. You know how somebody will just say something one time and you're just shocked, you know? You're like, what? Like, you think you must have misheard them because it's just something that is so utterly indefensible and seemingly inconsistent with their character that you're just stunned. That's how I feel at the moment. I'm hoping they're kidding, but I don't think they are at all. Game Grumps are popular. That makes sense. Just tag them in all the videos, lol. I'm scared. Like, when I made this video, I know it sounds really melodramatic and childish and paranoid of me, but part of me was scared that, like, most of my videos don't do very well, which is why this is startling to me. I'm proud that it did, because I did work hard on it. And I want all my videos to do well like this, so I'm pleased that one is, but, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking things like, what if this video gets big, but what if something disastrous happens, you know, where people start leaving the channel because of this one video, and it starts like all these drama channels talking about it, and in this like crazy snowball effect. And then people like Aaron and Danny are like lashing out at me on social media. Not Danny. Danny would just be like, I'm really hurt and it's shitty people are like this, which would be infinitely more crushing than him being nasty. You know how your parent just being like, I'm really disappointed in you, but not screaming, going ballistic, is like somehow infinitely more crushing. Like if Danny was just like, wow, it's just really shitty, but people are going to be like that and you've just got to keep going, like that would be crushing. Or if the people I really like saw the video and their reaction was, well, she's saying that she doesn't want to create this huge divide between the fans of different shows, but that's clearly not what she's doing. And if she really didn't want to do that, she wouldn't have made the video. I'm always paranoid about stuff like that happening. So I want to avoid the Game Grumps seeing my video if at all possible. Because one, I'm a coward and I want everybody to like me. And two, because they've already gone so far down this path of like the social justice, really extreme leftism, even though it has nothing to do with liberalism or the left at all, that they can't turn around now just because one girl in her living room covered in cat hair says that it's shitty and she doesn't agree with it. It wouldn't do them any good to see it, and it would make them dislike me. And I don't want people to dislike me, even if I don't like them, which is shitty and cowardly, and I need to get over that. That's one thing I need to work on. I've never seen that in conservatives. I must follow different people then. Seems odd. I would imagine conservatives would approve of the taking responsibility for owning animals. You know what I'll have to do? Everybody says that, Skittles, and what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to start compiling screenshots and evidence of people saying this stuff, because for some reason I think God hates me, and that's why I just keep coming across it when it enrages me. And quite possibly it is this tiny like little sample size of people, and I just run across the really shitty douchey people. But a lot of people that I have seen are that way. And I'll have to show you guys what I'm talking about, because, you know, I'm relieved when people say, like you just said, Skittles, that I've never seen that and that doesn't make any sense. Because no, it doesn't make any sense. And I really hope that I'm just coincidentally running across a lot of people who are really, really just snide and condescending toward anybody who loves animals. And you don't have to think animals are like on par with humans. You don't have to think like, oh my God, animals need the same rights as humans. We should all be vegan. You know, every person who hunts an animal and kills it and then feeds their family with it and uses its pelt to clothe their family should be tortured to death. Like, you don't have to be some nut like that. It's just just because an animal does not have the same level of self-awareness as human beings and is less intelligent does not mean that its innocence should not be protected if at all possible. You know, I have no problem with hunting. I don't like trophy hunting. I've said this before. But I have no problem with game hunting if you are respecting the life that you're taking, you know, the way like Native Americans do. If you are using all the resources you get from that animal from hunting it, I think that's in a lot of ways far more respectful and attuned to nature and the cycle of life and death than these like PETA nuts who grill dogs in the streets for shock value to try and make a point. I think most hunters are far more respectful of animals than like militant vegan PETA people will ever be. But it's like it's not that hard to recognize that animals are capable of love and forming considerably complex relationships with people and other animals. They have unique personalities. They're capable of emotions, you know, primarily unbridled adoration toward the people they love, whether it's dogs or cats or any animal. You know, and obviously the more mammalian and the more human-like an animal is, the more likely it is to be more self-aware and to have more of a concept of fear and sadness and confusion and things like that. But it's like it doesn't take some like leftist mankind hating nut to acknowledge that you shouldn't treat animals like shit. That's my opinion. And I need to make a video about it. And the problem is a lot of people are going to be really nasty and hate that video. But you know what? It physically hurts me to keep this stuff inside. It's like when you bottle up your depression and it eats away at you physically. That's what it does to me when I'm passionate about something like this and I don't share it with you guys. It will kill me slowly, which a lot of people would be very pleased to see. But you know, kind of the way spite and being very rebellious and defiant, as agonizing as it is to see kids doing that, as much as that saved me in school, that very defiant sort of persona I took on as a kid, when people want to see you suffering and keeping things in that you want to express or talk about or whatever it may be, when really shitty people want to see you suffering, the best way to spite them is by not being so afraid of what people are going to think that you do exactly what they want and hold your tongue and you don't express what you need to express. So it's funny, like my own love for myself or my own desire to outdo the expectations I and other people have of me, those are like minuscule in comparison to my sheer spite. Like, I have not killed myself for years in middle school and high school out of sheer spite. Like, as bad as it is for that to be a driving force in your life, like, spite has saved my life and has sustained me, sheer spite, for so long. I will make a video about that, you guys. You have convinced me just chatting about it a little bit here. Your stream died for a second. What the hell, stream? I'm sorry about that. Yeah, and like you said, seems odd. You would imagine conservatives would approve of the taking responsibility for owning animals. Absolutely. You see people like Glenn Beck types. Like, I'm sorry, I keep saying I'm going to go and then I'm still around. Like Glenn Beck's wife, Tanya, she is a vegetarian now because they own a ton of cattle on their ranch and they slaughter the cattle themselves. And I think Tanya said something to Glenn Beck was saying on his radio show about how she loves animals, but it hurts her heart and it makes her sick to think about animals being slaughtered and how horrible that is. And Glenn said to her, if you cannot handle the concept of slaughtering an animal, you have no right to be eating that animal. You know, if it's so distasteful and disturbing and hurts your heart so much to think about that animal being killed, but you're still eating the meat from that animal, going through what you perceive to be some injustice, that's wrong. And his wife was like, oh my God, you're right. Like, if I can't stare this issue in the face and take responsibility for what I am contributing to, I can't contribute to it anymore. So Glenn Beck, they have cattle, and I think they slaughter them, you know, obviously humanely, and they eat their meat, and they use the resources they get from those animals. They don't put it to waste. But his wife stopped eating meat because she realized, I can't be a hypocrite about this. And I wish I could do that. I should be a vegetarian. I'm allergic to all fruits and vegetables, so maybe I shouldn't be a vegetarian. But stuff like that is interesting to me. And yeah, I would think that respect for life would be a conservative principle, considering that so many conservatives align themselves with Christianity and respecting nature and God's, you know, perceived creation. It's just weird that not being a complete abusive monster to animals has become something that, like, the left has, like, co-opted and identifies with, when they're so inhumane to even other human beings, and humans are animals. I don't understand it at all. Or, like, the left will dox people or swat people and not care if their animal gets killed or runs outside and gets hit by a car in the process. Like, I don't think you care about animals if you're willing to threaten or risk somebody's animal getting hurt because you don't like that they're conservative. Just saying. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just getting to that now. But you said, oh, I never doubted you. Just seems odd that people like that would call themselves conservative. And I didn't mean to say that you doubt me. I didn't think that you did. But so many people experience what you do, where they don't come across people who are dicks like that, that when I see proof of that, I want to show you guys, because there is this very small subset of so-called conservatives who just sneer at and mock anybody who's like, I don't think beating an animal to death is cool, you guys. And it's absolutely, it is mind-boggling to me that people who adhere to so many other conservative principles are like that. And it's not a ton of people. It's a very small number, but it's still a small number that have their own little you know, mutual culture, and they egg each other on in this disdain for people who aren't total dicks to animals. Got a stream you might really like. They talk about anime news and all kinds of stuff. Gonna shoot you a message on Twitter with it. Thank you. I would love that, dude. And Skittles said, oh, emotion is best when bottled up. I like to squeeze it all down into little lumps of pain and then wait and see which one explodes first. I try not to do that because I've had so many meltdowns, like, I like vaguely sort of covered my nostril area and belched directly into the microphone. I don't even know why I'm alive anymore. Like, I've had so many times that I just have a total meltdown and, like, scream at my parents, obviously, like, 15 years ago. Or I would just, like, lose it and scream at a bully who was giving one of my friends shit. And then people look at you like you're a nut, you know. If you may have very valid reasons for your grievance, but the way I process those things, when I bottle them up, it either turns into me wanting to kill myself, or it turns into me having a meltdown that makes me look like a nut, you know, when in reality, if I had addressed all those things when they were building up, people would see my grievances as more credible. Does that make sense? Reagan Harataka. Oh, he's dreamy. Okay. Moonifest Destiny. Won't post link without your permission. I apologize. You can share it if you want. I'm gonna wrap up the stream the next like 3 minutes. I'm actually serious this time, I swear on my life. I'm losing my voice. You can't post links in chat unless you are modded anyway. Really? I swear people have posted links in my chat before, and I don't have any mods except for, like, Magog. And maybe Beardy. I haven't modded anybody, which is not nice of me. Hey, if it isn't Miss Popular, how's the newfound fame, lol? I know. Hi, White Squall. Is that who that is? White Squall? I clicked away, and I'm like, what if I say the wrong person? That's rude. It's weird, dude. I have almost 800 views on a video I posted yesterday afternoon. You have comments awaiting your review. That's what I thought. Here come all the meanies I'm going to cry about. No, it's just poor Toady. Oh, approve. So this user who was in the stream a bit ago, Toady SP, oh, Oh, now I see that it's not Castiel in there. I'm so dumb. They have a lot of thoughts about that video I posted that went viral by my standards, which are very, very low standards. And because they had so many thoughts, they apologized ahead of time, which is dumb. Like, don't apologize. I am so flattered. If you take the time out of your day to like write paragraphs to me, it's amazing that people put that much thought and feeling and effort into responding to something that I made. Like, they think it's that thought-provoking. That's an amazing compliment. But like, this person posted this like novel, and they apologized for posting something that long and said, I'm so sorry this is going to be so long. And they broke it into 3 parts because YouTube limits how many characters you can put in a comment. And so it held part 2 of their 3-part like comment on my video for moderation, but part 3 showed up. Why did they do that? It's so dumb. Like, I don't understand how YouTube determines which things to like censor and hold for a comment, because it doesn't make any sense to me. Even if someone's being a total dick, I want them to out themselves as a dick. I don't want to censor their commentary, you know? I don't get it, dude. Whatever. You did show up late. Literally, as soon as I see your message, White Squall, I'm like, I'm leaving. Bye. Jeezy says, almost all year I've been in limbo about having to move for work to various places. Not fun, always being maybe 2 weeks from moving somewhere. I wouldn't be able to handle that either. That's hard. And I like traveling, but I need consistency. Like, being uprooted like that, or the instability, the just not knowing would be hard for me. So hang in there, man. That's hard. Skittle said, on my other channel, Untitled Studios, I mod everyone because Satan and Satire is on, and he will ban and time out people if I'm not quick enough. Oh no. Oh no. That's what I'm scared about. I need some mods. The bigger this gets, there are going to be dickholes who show up, inferior meatuses who show up. But I'm scared because every human being is different, you know? Somebody might be completely confident that their call on blocking somebody or timing somebody out is exactly what you want, and it could be totally the opposite of how you feel about something. And the thing is, you need mods because you don't have time to go through every one of those comments while you're also streaming and trying to be entertaining and interact with some of the chat and read it. So, oh my god. Are you locked out? Oh. I have to go. Tech support as Banda was locked out, and I don't understand how or why. Okay, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm gonna go let him in. This is a very, very quick goodbye compared to normal. Okay. I love you guys very much. I will see you guys again soon and stuff. And like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you have a good night. Bye.